If you're new to my channel or a subscriber and you want to stay up to date to all the content that I upload, make sure to click on the gear and check off send me all notifications for this channel, and if you're on mobile, make sure to ring my bell to stay updated. Z squad up! So the episode 55 preview has us pretty hyped up, mainly because Zeno wants to meet Goku, and in that preview we see a small, glimpse at a character that somewhat resembles, Vados and Whis. He looks like a member of their race. So that's really cool that we get to see even more characters that are the same race as Whis, and it kind of seems like this entity or this person that he's kind of in charge of, the attendants. It would make sense if this guy was if this guy was in charge of all of the attendants, because I'm not sure if Whis mentioned this in Super, but in A Battle of Gods, the movie, in Resurrection F, he just refers to himself as a life form. So that's extremely interesting. And if you go to Herms' Twitter, he mentions that he has the kanji that stands for grand on his belt. So this guy could be the grand attendant or assistant to, maybe he's even the assistant of Zeno himself. Those other two guys that we saw, those could possibly be his bodyguards, but this could possibly be Zeno's attendant, which is probably why he would be the grand attendant. And what even makes more sense is because he's there when when Zeno is gonna meet Goku. So I'm not sure if he's in the same frame as Zeno or at the same exact area as Zeno. I'm just gonna go open up the preview real quick. So it seems like Zeno still has those two bodyguards with him, but those two bodyguards do not look like they're part of Whis' race, which, I don't know, I just feel like this guy would possibly have definitely something to do with Zeno, because he is the grand attendant. We'll just call him the grand attendant. And if you look at that halo on his head, it's actually above his head. It's not like Whis and Vados' ring that actually is below their head. It goes around their neck. So it makes even more sense. He doesn't look like the type of person that would fight, but then again, Whis didn't really look like the type of person that fights. So that's my prediction. It just feels like this guy is the grand attendant, and that he's gonna be the person that's gonna lead, that's gonna coordinate the meeting between Zeno and Goku himself. I feel like he is Zeno's assistant when, I feel like those bodyguards are mostly present when, when Zeno is traveling around and when he's going around to meet characters, but I feel like this guy assists him in most of his day-to-day routines, if that makes sense, because from what we've seen of Zeno, he's pretty childish, or he has a childish voice, and he looks very small. So I don't know, it just makes sense that this person, this figure, we don't know his name or her name, it kind of looks, it's hard to explain, you can't really tell the gender that well, but my point is, it feels like this entity would take care of Zeno himself behind closed doors, because dude, those guys really look like that they would cook food for Zeno, because I assume he still has to eat and all that, so just basic care. And also it feels like this guy might not be actually, from the first looks, he doesn't look like he's versed at fighting, or him or her, but we don't know. That was the same case with Whis. He could be, but I don't think that he prefers to use that method, which is why Zeno has those two bodyguards with him that look intimidating. It's probably just to intimidate the person in the first place when you're going up against Zeno. But definitely, I don't want to repeat myself too much here, but he feels like he's the grand attendant. He controls, all the other attendants. He assigns these attendants to certain gods of destruction, and it just feels like he would be the attendant of Zeno himself, because there's always order, there's always there's Grand Kais, there's Kaioshin, there's the Kaio, the apprentices. There's just a lot of order in Dragon Ball, in universes, in different quadrants of these galaxies, and the universes themselves, which is, it makes sense if you think about it. Plus, why would he have the grand thing on his belt if he wasn't a grand Kaio? Well, not a grand Kaio, but an attendant, or just, he has a very, very high position is what I'm trying to say, and he could possibly be the assistant of Zeno. He possibly couldn't be. He could just be like controlling, I guess, these quote life forms that he's a part of. And yeah, it just makes sense in general. I'm kind of, I guess, stumbling over my words because I haven't done discussions in a while, but yeah, this is just something I really wanted to talk about. I want to hear your guys' input on this character. What do you guys think? What are your predictions for what this character is going to be? Big shout out to Herms for the translations as usual. Man, he's always got his stuff down pat. So yeah, just thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. It greatly helps the channel. And yeah, bye guys. Have an epic day.